Hello, hello, Amazon Live, Joshua Harrell here. I am so happy to be here with you this Friday evening. Might be a little noisy, you might hear some car sounds. Having to come to you live from my lounge as I'm working on my studio. I know you don't care about that, but it will sound like a very busy street in a moment, I'm sure. But today's show is all about, it's a little selfish, I have to admit. It's all about my book, Digital Marketing Strategies for Your Business. It's something I wrote last year. It's been very popular, but I like to bring phenomenal products to you on Amazon Live, and I am still doing that, even though it's a little bit of self-promotion here. But I know a lot of you have businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses. Maybe you are the solopreneur and you have to be the chief operating officer, the CEO, the CFO, as well as the CMO, and handle all of everything to do with your business. So you probably got into business not to do marketing, but you knew that was a component of it. And what I wanted to do was create a book. It's not a very thick book. You can get through it in a few hours, but give you the tools that you need to really master all the different nuances involved in digital marketing. And when I'm talking about digital marketing, I'm talking about anything that's online. So that can be your website, that can be advertising on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, blogging, even using your content for YouTube, as well as just kind of building your social media presence across the online universe. And it's always changing, right? So I have no doubt that this book will be out of date in the next year because things move so fast. I joke whenever I'm asked about marketing and what are the trends and what should we be doing as business owners. I always joke that I'm constantly chasing something I'm never going to catch, because just as technology is evolving, we as a human race are evolving. So marketing to us is it's just something you're never ever going to be ahead of the curve. You can be innovative and you can be a leader with your creativity, but I'm telling you that marketing, it keeps on going, and sometimes it feels like you're doing a lot of things and they're not the right things, or you need to be doing a lot of things and you don't have the time to do them. Believe me, I am very well aware of some of the pitfalls that business owners and marketers fall into. So that's what I wanted to address in this book. Like I said, it's not a thick book, but I did cram it full. I did not skip over anything. In fact, there's way more that I could add to this, but it is a very comprehensive guide to digital marketing today. Like I said, I do know that in a year I'll have to make a new edition and continue to add to it. But if you right now are an entrepreneur, you are involved in marketing, or you want to start expanding your knowledge of marketing, this is a great place to start. It's not going to get into the nuts and bolts of how to do every little piece of anything that's involved in marketing, but it is going to point you in the right direction. So, for example, social media. I talk about how you've got to pick your platforms that work for you. If you already have those platforms in place, then which ones are really building an audience? Who's paying attention? Is no one paying attention? And what do you need to look at to really evaluate whether or not this particular platform is good for you? And that's not to say that you don't participate in all of them, or at least secure your identity on those social media channels or those social media platforms. But it does say, put your efforts into the channel that is working for you right now and continue to grow that. And then you can expand on to other platforms, and new platforms come along. So you always want to stay current and pay attention to those pieces. But social media is that free piece of marketing that's out there, and everybody knows they need to do it, but they're not sure necessarily what components of social media marketing they need to be involved with. Same thing with content marketing. Creating content for your business, whether that's making videos like this, or writing a blog, or doing a podcast. If you have done any research on marketing, or you're doing marketing now, you're doing that content is king. That keeps getting put into the front of everybody's mind. Content is king. Content is king. Well, in this book, I'm going to talk about why content is king, and what does that really mean? Does that mean that you have to have a killer blog? Maybe. Maybe you don't need to have a killer blog. Maybe you need to have a killer vlog. Or maybe you don't need that at all. Maybe you just need a website that is your number one salesperson and answers all the questions that potential customers might have. So when customers are doing, or potential customers are doing research on whether or not to do business with you, they get their questions answered. So by the time they fill out the form to do business with you, or click buy in your e-commerce platform, or pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to hire you, they feel very, very informed, and they are ready to go. They're ready to buy. They are hot and ready to go. So those are some of the pieces that I talk about in this book. It is something that, part of my background, and I know I've talked to you guys about grooming products. I've talked about teas and my passion for tea. Well, my number one passion ever since I was a kid has been being a business owner. And I remember taking, on laundry day, my dad's denim. I don't know why it was his denim. I guess my dad had a lot of denim. I don't know. But I would take the folding lawn chairs and kind of make a stall in the lounge in my house, and then I would drape his denim over the lounge chairs, and I'd pretend it was my little market and I was selling denim. That was just like this little memory I had, but I always wanted to have a shop. And then I got into retail. My first job when I was 16 years old, my mom, she said, you're going to get a job. And she dropped me off at the Human Resources office at Six Flags Over Georgia. And at that time, they just talked to you for a little bit and figured out what you might be able to do. They said, oh, you're going to be in retail. And from then on, I was in retail, and I loved it. I loved selling products and having conversations with customers to figure out what they like, and figure out what I could say about a product that would make them excited and make them want to buy. And that really became, through my through line through everything that I've done, has always been about selling great products to the right customers for those products. And marketing, digital marketing in particular, like back when I was in high school and in college, it wasn't, who knew there was going to be online shopping? Like, who knew? No, I did not. So the evolution just in the last few decades, everything is done online. So little is done in person, but there is, if you are not someone who has been very heavily involved in digital marketing, then it is very overwhelming. If you start doing searches online, you jump into a rabbit hole that you just can't get out of, and you end up with this laundry list of things that you need to do, and yet you still have a business to run or your particular job function. So where do you start? Where do you put your focus? And that's what I attempt to do with my book, Digital Marketing Strategies for Your Business. This is the handbook that anytime I work with a team, especially a team new to marketing, I want to make sure that everybody is playing it's a level playing field. They know at least enough that we can build strategies together that fit their product or their service. And that's important. To talk about the two different sides of things that you are marketing, whether it's a physical product that you sell, or it's your service. Maybe you're a travel agent and you sell your travel consultant services. You create vacations. I kind of dropped that in because I work with a lot of really cool independent travel professionals. So I like to drop that in. But all types of services, you are constantly selling that service and that outcome of what work you do. I should set down my book. If you have questions, guys, definitely put them down, or can't remember if it's down or to the right, wherever the chat is. And we can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be just the items that are in this book. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what was in the book for sure. I joke a lot with different people that I speak to who have businesses or they're starting a business, and the phrase, "Oh, I just need to get the word out there." Ugh, it makes me cringe quite a lot. It's true. You want to get the word out there, but that is such a big, comprehensive term that I think that's probably why I want to cringe. And the same thing with, oh, you just need to get on social media and go viral. That's not really a strategy. And the chances of you going viral are very, very slim. But using things like social media and creating content that is authentic to your brand, whether it's selling yourself a product or a service, finding that groove, finding your audience there, that is something that is attainable for everybody. You just have to put your focus. Where you put your focus is where you're going to end up going. So those are the things that, when you're thinking about your business and marketing your business, I want everyone to completely understand that you do have what it takes to successfully market your business. But you can get caught up in a flurry of activity that feels like you are super busy doing nothing. You're not seeing the results. And that's so frustrating. You're mad at yourself. You're mad at the way people are hate to be marketed to or sold to. You're mad at all these different things, but really it's because you're not focusing on the steps. Let me get my foundational items down, then let me see what's working, and let me get into that cycle of continual improvement, and learn more. You learn as you go. You learn by doing. And that is huge. I think I have been very fortunate to be put in situations where a business that I'm working with wants to do X, and I've never done X, but I know the fundamentals of how to market and amplify a message and sell products. Now I just need to learn the nuances of that special component. And, an example could be something like a podcast. Never done a podcast. I do a podcast now. I need to clarify that. But had you asked me a few years ago, how do I do a podcast? Well, I would know enough to be able to Google and find good examples and resources, but the fundamentals of marketing and selling your product, that is applied to whatever vehicle you use to amplify your message. So I feel like I've just done a lot of preaching, and I'm holding my book like a Bible, and I'm not intending to do that. So I'm going to set that down to the side. You've got the link. If you want to get it, it's obviously available on Amazon, and you can get the print version or you can get the Kindle version. It's like I said, it's a labor of love. I find marketing, even though it's that thing that I'm constantly chasing, to see if I can catch it. I'm still very passionate that one day I might catch it, because I think if I give up on that, then I probably will be a very, very bad marketer. But I'm very excited about all the opportunities that are out there. And even right now, as we are in this period of spending a lot of time at home, streaming television, watching, the news updates, scrolling through social media, we're very connected, but we're also very disconnected. However, I'm still finding really clever marketers out there who are getting my attention while I'm doing all these things that I'm doing from home. Case in point, I have now bought like 5 musical instruments that I do not know how to play. But these marketers for these different products they targeted me, someone who is interested in music, and someone who is on social media, who is not somebody who likes to play video games. I don't know how they found me. I mean, there's all the different nuances to every advertising platform, but they had the right messaging to get me involved in learning a musical instrument during this time when I've got some downtime at home. And I just think I know it when it's happening, when someone is marketing very well. It doesn't mean that I don't buy it. It doesn't mean that I have like Wonder Woman bracelets and I'm blocking the wonderfulness of their marketing, and I'm not going to buy their products. They've done a really good job of connecting with me, and when you find those little wins from a marketing level, you're just like, wow, that was pretty cool. Very simple, but very, very cool. And those are the things that I think every entrepreneur has an opportunity to say for themselves, as long as you feel like you're not flying blind. And again, I go back to, that's why I wanted to create this book, Digital Marketing Strategies for Your Business, because I wanted to dispel some myths, really point out the direction that a business should go in as they're evaluating their different marketing tactics, and coming up with their marketing strategies. Things, I describe some things that, as you read them, you might be, oh, well, that's not anything that would impact my business, or man, that's exactly what I should be focused on. Or maybe I'm doing this right now and I could enhance it a little bit, but I could put some attention over here. And those are some of the things that I hope you'll find in this book. Like I said, this is for those solopreneurs, those entrepreneurs, those jack of all trades, the person that's in charge of the email marketing for their business, the person that is in charge of doing advertising, building websites, managing websites. If you are trying to find new customers and you are trying to do that through digital marketing, or you haven't started yet and you need to do it, then this book is what I have put together for you. Okay? So, if you have any questions, you can definitely ask them here. But I think in general, let me just, so you know what the book covers, let me just read some of the chapters. I'm not going to read the book to you, although that could be kind of fun. And, maybe that's something that we do. But the first chapter is just talking about the latest trends in digital marketing, things that you've probably heard buzz about, you're aware of, things that that should be on your radar. Then chapter 2 is generating traffic to your pages, your website pages, through SEM, which is search engine marketing. And that would be Google advertising, AdWords, Bing advertising, versus SEO, which is search engine optimization. And that's building content creating content for your website, specifically to answer the questions or the search phrases that people are entering when they're using a search engine to find information. So creating content for that, but also structurally putting that information in certain places within your website and your web pages to make sure that you get the maximum benefit out of that. So that's what that chapter is about. Using content marketing to your benefit is the next chapter, and that is things like blogs, things like videos. How do they fit into your marketing mix? How do they fit in your overall marketing strategy? It isn't, back in the day, you'd create a brochure, you'd drop that off somewhere, you'd mail it out to someone. But now you need to position yourself as the trusted advisor. So what kind of content does your audience want? And what can you create that will make sure that when they're thinking about you, your brand, the service that you offer, the product that you sell, or the types of services and products that you sell, that they think about your brand. You want to be known for whatever that is that your product or service solves. So using content marketing to your benefit. Chapter 4 is all about social media, leveraging the power of social posts and social media paid advertising. That's a big chapter, and it's definitely talking about a lot of things, because just because you're on social media does not mean that you're doing social media advertising. Social media advertising is they've made it very, very easy to do. There are some ways that you can get backed into a corner where there are too many options and it's too crazy, but they do. Every single platform has their kind of getting started basic entry level advertising setup that very very easy to access, and you know using both, creating, having content for your social media platform and being active and being social on those platforms, extremely important. But you can't just build it and they will come. You're going to need to do advertising. So in this chapter, I talk a little bit about social media advertising and things that you should know. Chapter 5, getting the most out of your email marketing campaigns. Now, if I don't think there's a person in the world that gets just every single email that they get is exactly what they wanted. I mean, people complain about junk email and too much email, but let me tell you, it's not just me. There are plenty of experts that will tell you that email is not dead, and email is very, very strong. If you are not using email marketing, if you haven't even got an email list, then you've got to start there. And you need to come up with a strategy for email marketing that fits your bandwidth, what you can take on, but also adds value to your customer database. And there's going to be some people that they don't want to hear from you. They give you their email address for whatever reason, but then they start getting your emails and they opt out of them. That's okay. Don't sweat that, because there's a whole bunch of people who do want to hear from you. They are your fans. They are interested in your products. They're interested in new products that you come out with, new services that you come out with. They're also just really interested in how to use your product or leverage your service better. So there's many, many ways that you can make your email program strong. But if you don't have one, this chapter right here is I hope is going to convince you. And then the last chapter is moving forward with a multi-channel digital marketing approach. So, like I said, you're talking about social media marketing, search engine marketing. You're talking about creating content for your website, optimizing the content that's on your website, making it serve the visitors to your website so it educates them and gets them ready to buy from you. We're talking about social media advertising. I don't know if I already said that, sorry. In all the different channels within social media, but it's all about expanding your online presence. So if you think about the web as just this vast land, you are looking to grab as much land as you can. And there are so many different ways to do that, but you have to get involved, you have to get engaged, you have to start putting some stakes in the land and carving out that space for your brand. Because if you're not, someone else will. And you don't want to be left out. So I think I have ranted and raved about marketing. I hope you see that this is a huge passion of mine, because it's something that I had no idea when I was hawking my dad's denim over some lounge chairs, that I would be so involved in so many different levels of marketing. And I think another reason why I love marketing so much is it's ever changing, and I love to learn, and I love new things. And when you are marketing your business, there are just so many different tactics that you can employ to really get in the driver's seat and captivate an audience, recaptivate your existing audience. So it's a lot of fun, but it is very complex to anyone that's new to the world of digital marketing. So that's what my book, Digital Marketing Strategies for Your Business. I, selfishly, I put it into the Phenomenal Product Show, just like I did with the Show Up and Shine Planner. If you tuned in a few weeks ago when I did that, it's not a huge book. I did not write a novel. I wanted it to be something very easy to consume, but it has been such a rewarding project to complete and put out to the world, because I've gotten some great feedback on the information that is here. I try to be no nonsense. I try to tell you like it is. And if you get this book or a friend shares this book with you, and you're watching this video, go to joshuahorrell.com. Let me know what you thought. If you'd like more information on marketing, I do a lot of content there, as well as courses on marketing. So there's you can go pretty deep in marketing, and I do try to help everybody, but this is the place to get started if you are new to digital marketing. Really helps you feel like you've got a firm grip on the subject and know what your next steps are, and which direction you're going to go in. So anyway, it doesn't look like we had any questions in the chat, but I do appreciate you joining in. I promise the next show tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow at 9. I am going to be talking about, I am on a fitness journey because, and I cannot blame, being self-quarantined, stuck at home. I cannot blame that because I've had plenty of time to work out, and I do enjoy that, but I have just chosen not to. So now I am on a fitness journey, and I want to share 2 products that are my favorite from Cellucor. I got to get that right. So I'm going to be talking about those tomorrow. And then on Sunday, back with Looking Good Sunday. And I've got some great products in that show as well. So I hope you'll tune in for those shows, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll try to come to you from another glittery background like I have in the past. But today I thought I'd just bring you into my living room and say, hey, let's sit a spell and talk about my book, Digital Marketing Strategies for Your Business. Thank you again for tuning in. And if you have any questions, or if you just want to connect with me on social media, at Joshua Horrell on Instagram and Twitter. You can search for me on Facebook. And don't forget, follow me on Amazon, because that's how you find out about the phenomenal products that I try to bring to you, that I have bought on Amazon, and when these shows are coming up. So please do that. I gave you a big list of things to do. I hope you're okay with that. Anyway, have a wonderful evening, have a great weekend, and I will speak to you real soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.